welcome to another edition of Box Seats. I am your host, Frank Holder. This is the show where we talk about sports with comedians, and we have a great show. We have a great time. We got to dive in. I'm waiting for my man Talent to come in. I'm sure he's coming in a second. In the meantime, what's up, Fig? How you doing, sir?
Man, it's a lovely day. Great weekend. Happy to be back.
Yeah. My man Mike Sean is also in the building. Mike, what's happening, man? How you doing, sir?
What's good, fellas? How's everything?
I look like you had the Star Trek background today, huh?
A whole lot of stuff going on right now.
I'm about to say, Mike in a movie studio.
Yeah, I like it, Mike. I like it. All right, so we're going to start off and talking about sports like we always do. It looks like my man Talent is jumping in the building, too. What's up, G? How you doing, sir? How was your weekend?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm good. I'm winning a lot of money right now. I'm happy.
Uh-oh. All right, so we're going to have to talk about what money you're winning because I have an idea who you won on. So yeah. Yeah. So let's jump into it, my man. Guys, this is what's interesting. I want to start out with baseball real fast. People say I don't talk about baseball. I get hit with that all the time. The New York Mets had 101 wins this year. 101 wins this year. But they out the playoffs. They ended up losing after the playoffs. San Diego Padres 6-0 yesterday and everything else. So T, disappointing year for the Mets. Obviously, I guess we're not going to get that Subway Series that we thought we were going to get. But talk to me, T. What's your take on the Mets and how their year went? And I don't know, just anything else you want to talk about New York wise? Talk to me.
Well, first of all, I'm happy they lost. The only reason I'm happy is because Donovan Mitchell's father works for the Mets, and whenever they play, that's 20 tickets I can't sell to a show. He rolled out deep, so now he ain't got no excuse. Now he back to buying 20 tickets. So hurrah. I mean, I wanted the Subway Series, all jokes aside, but they couldn't get no bats. They got shut out game 3. No bats. So on one hand, we wake up, we celebrate a lot of New York winning. Our teams are winning. And then on the first round, trying to get through these playoffs, they're ousted. I feel bad for the Mets, man, because the Mets had a wonderful season. I mean, they were looking heroic, for lack of a better word, and only to go out, with less than a bang. It was like you ever light a fireworks and the wick is no good.
Right.
They fizzled out. There was a fizzle out.
Really? That's what we gonna do.
Or the fizzle will go real fast and explode in your hand, like happened to me one year.
Whoa.
One time it's gonna happen one way or the other. Fig, talk to me, bro. What's your take on the Mets bowing out? If they had 101 wins this year, that can't be overlooked. The team is for real.
Yeah, man. They had 101 wins. The only problem is it's a 300-game season. Talent said they couldn't get any bats. Well, bats come out at night, so that means you need to play more night games. It's the afternoon games that's killing them because they couldn't get no bats.
Wow.
Stupid.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, at the end of the day, in any sport, the regular season doesn't count. You know what I mean? The regular season basically is to get you to the playoffs and the finals. And that's where the champions are made. I don't care what you talk about in any sport, hockey, baseball, football, basketball. The regular season is you stack up enough wins so that you can get into the playoffs and the finals. That's what it's really about. It just is.
All right. Mike Sean, you're a huge Mets fan. Talk to me, bro. How disappointed it is, and is the Mets, their future does look bright, though, right? What's your take on it?
F them. Like F the Mets right now. Like I can't even express to you, being from the Bronx, I was always the outcast because everybody in New York in the Bronx was a Yankee fan. So what they did was inexplainable. Like I can't even. That hurt my feelings. Like real talk.
Wow. Yeah, I can only imagine how you feel being a Red Sox fan when you have big expectations after you win 100. Like it's really hard to win 100 games in a year. It's really hard.
And they did everything right. They got a pitching staff. They put everything on there, and lost.
Mike, they made a mistake of falling to the wild card. That's how they messed up, because if it had been a 4 out of 7, they might have had a better chance. But when you have to win best of 3, like, yeah, you're doomed. You know what I mean? You're doomed.
Yeah.
But it's the Mets. It's the Mets. So
yeah.
shout out to 86.
Let's move on. My man T, Bronny James, LeBron James' son, this morning word came out. He signed a huge Nike deal, and because he's in college and he's in college, he's able to sign an NIL deal. The terms of the deal so far are undisclosed, but people are saying it's in the range of $25-50 million deal with NIL. Yeah, college player doing this. LeBron James' son, man. We'll talk about that, T. What's your take on that before we talk about football?
You see Mike's face? Mike is like, you know what it is? We cut from a certain cloth where, you know, we had to work hard for every dime and dollar we got. And now you got guys get 30 billion just by association. Oh, that's his son? Give him 30 million. Yeah. He didn't do nothing. But his father did a lot. Bro, this is ludicrous. And here's the thing, you know, I'm gonna think it's ludicrous because I'm one of the guys that kind of thought the 90 million to LeBron was ludicrous. He hadn't touched the NBA ball yet. To me, that's ludicrous. Like, you can't go off of what you think may happen. I mean, he got lucky. He lived up to everything he was supposed to be, but that's a hell of a jump out of a window to not know what you're getting. And I mean, kudos to him. I do applaud getting money. So any way you can get it, God bless you, but it's still ludicrous.
Yeah, I can't even disagree with you. Only thing is, Fig, I'm gonna say is that it could cause a lot of jealousy in the league, in college, and everything else with a college player who you know, some college players you're playing on the same court with are barely struggling to rub 2 nickels together. Meanwhile, people have no idea what you're making, but they know it's in the $25-50 million range. You know what I mean? That's the problem I have with it. What's your take, Fig?
Haters, you're always gonna have haters, and anytime you're doing anything successful, they was hating this kid before he had a dime because he was LeBron James' kid. So that just goes with the territory. If you don't want haters, then collect welfare. You know what I mean? Do something very insignificant. You know what I mean? Or you're just gonna have haters. I think it's incredible because of the time and age that we're in. But I still have to point back to the fact, though, this is an endorsement deal. And I don't know whether he's going to college or anything like that, but college executives still make millions and millions of dollars, and the players still don't get paid. So let's not lose track of the fact that in America, you have players that earn a certain amount of money and they don't get a slice of the pie. That's a fact.
You know what? Fig touched on something, Mike, that I kind of glossed over. Bronny's still in high school. He signed the NIL deal, which is basically falls under the college thing because your name, image, and likeness. But he's still in high school. Can this be the door opening up for high school players to get a lot of cash too, if they show promise? Like look at that Kuminga kid. I think his name Kuminga or something like that. That kid, he hasn't even done a lot. He's playing in France. You know what I mean? He's looking at a lot of money too. I mean, listen, the way it's not the same. It's 2022, 2023. It's not the same. What's your take?
It's capitalism. Like, this is what we're based on. But for some reason, when these young men and young women decide to do the same thing that these businessmen do, they get looked upon differently. I don't get it. Like, I've been saying this for years. I've been saying this for like 15 years. Like, I don't understand why when they try and do the same thing that all these other head coaches in college are doing, they get looked upon differently. Go get the money.
Right.
Go get every dime, every penny, because when you're not that good anymore, they will leave you alone.
Absolutely, 100%. Let's keep it moving because we got a lot of stuff to cover. The Raiders ended up going up 17-zip last night, T. They ended up putting up a good game. But, they were playing the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Let's not overlook. The Chiefs came back, ended up winning. The Raiders ended up getting it over them. It was 20-17. The Raiders ultimately were still in the lead. Yeah, but Kansas City came in. So what's your overall view of the game last night before we dive in deep, T? What's your take? And you're on mute. T, you're on mute.
The coaching sucked.
Yep.
The play calling sucked. The reffing sucked.
For who, the Raiders?
For the whole game, both sides, they were making decisions and play calling that didn't add up to me, especially as the game got on the line halfway through the third quarter. When they came back out, to me, the first half of the game is just the first half. Now you come out with all the adjusting stuff. So your thinking cap should be on. And they were just doing like stupid decisions on both sides of the ball. And then the refs ain't help. You know, I don't know what they were looking at last night. Like, these refs, these are church refs. These refs had to be sent and trained by Jesus and God and Gabriel and everybody up there at the pearly gates. There was no way in the world some of these calls. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I mean, game deciding calls, bro. Like,
So you talk about that?
possession deciding, all of that.
You talk about that sack that my man Chris Jones had on Derek Carr.
No, it's not a sack, Frank. Don't disrespect the league. According to the league, it's not. It was personal foul, unnecessary roughness, roughing the passer, if you will.
Yeah.
It was a regular sack. It's a regular sack. And what made it worse than the Brady thing, because this is back to back. We just seen it with Brady. Now we've seen it last night. What made it a little worse than Brady's thing is that sack was so good. You know how many times it's very rare that you could go for the sack, swipe the ball at the same time. The ball comes out into your hand, and y'all fall down. You got the ball. It's a turnover. Oh, no, not so fast. Personal foul, unnecessary roughing the passer. Where? I don't know what they want, man. I'm getting confused, man. I don't know what they want. I feel like a lot of the players, I understand that we have to be conscious of CTE and make the game a little safer and all that. But you can't get to the point where you take the core existence of what the game is about out. They were trying to question another call last night. And the dude took a hit on a pass. He caught the ball, turned around, he got the ball. It wasn't even like, I could see if the hit comes the same time as the ball, questionable. But you were able to catch it, contain it, turn to make a move, and had come home with the bow. And it was like, whoa, what? So now I guess what's going to happen in 2023 is before every tackle, they need to mic these players so we can hear them say, hey, you ready to go down to the ground?
Hey,
I got you. My momentum won't stop. Get ready. Cushion yourself. Let's go. I want to hear all that now because what the hell, man? I didn't like that part of the game, bro.
You know what, T? I think that we're not too far away from, and it might even happen this season, whereas the defender wraps both hands around the QB, they're going to call the whistle right there and that be called as a sack. We're not too far away from that because last night I saw it happen a couple of times when the quarterback could have squeezed up, the defender grabbed him, and they blew the whistle as the play was dead. Before anything happened, I think, okay, they might be getting ready to move to that.
But I don't have no problem with that, Frank. My problem is going to always be the same thing. You have to take momentum into consideration. Yeah. If I'm coming full steam, I don't care if I do like this and you blow it, right? Guess what's going to happen? The momentum still carries over.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
Yeah, my problem is they're calling the QBs way too much. It's getting ridiculous. And I wasn't a fan of either team. Fig, talk to me. I know you saw the game last night. I know you ended up seeing all the calls happen over the weekend. What was your initial reaction of the game last night? What stood out to you most? Was the Chris Jones call? Was it the Raiders going for it, in the end with 4 minutes to go, trying to get a 2-point conversion? What? I don't want to put words in your mouth. What stood out?
It was a Kentucky Fried Football game. Everything that could go wrong did yesterday. I was like, what are they doing? I don't know what the coaches was doing on the sideline, going for the extra point. I don't know why the Raiders did it. I don't know why Kansas City did it. And like kick the extra point. Mm-hmm. Like why are you not kicking the extra point? Like you don't. There was 4 and some odd minutes left, and you went for a 2-point instead of kicking the field goal and tying the game. That means if you don't make the 2-point, now you lose. Now Kansas City ain't even got to do that. And then what Talon said is right, man. I just like Stephen A. I watched Stephen A. Smith. He's like, yo, it need to be flag football. Me, I take it a step further. Just go 2-hand touch. When you get to the like everybody else play tackle, but when you get to the quarterback, if you can put 2 hands on him, he's tackled. That's it. Just 2-hand touch for the quarterback because he's too valuable. And then this weekend, Tom Brady got thrown to the ground. He tried to kick the defender, looked at the ref, and the ref blew a whistle.
We're going to get that game.
So they did the same exact thing to Patrick Mahomes last night, and the refs didn't do anything.
Yeah, we're going to get to that game.
What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing with these quarterbacks? Are they not football players, or like what are they? Because I don't know if you realize, Frank, in the Super Bowl, had these type of rules been implemented, the Giants don't win the Super Bowl because clearly Eli Manning was in the grasp. Had he been in the grasp like that and these new rules been in effect, they may have called him down and it changes the outcome of the entire game. This is ridiculous, man. I don't know what they're going to do. These football players are 6'6", 200 and some odd pounds. How you going to get them down on the ground if you don't hit them?
Mike Sean, let me ask you this question, right? After the game, like Talent and Fig just talked about during the game, after the game, Devontae Adams was so mad because the 2 wide receivers they ended up hitting each other. Devontae Adams walks off the field, hits a cameraman or something, a light guy, the guy was holding lights and everything else. Yeah. This guy files a charge this morning saying that he's going to he filed a police report against Devontae Adams. Everything else that can't be overlooked either. What's your take on the game, and what's your take on Devontae Adams pushing the guy out the way who clearly stepped in his way as he was leaving off the field, and Devontae pushed him? Talk to me about those.
I don't understand. Man, I get it because everybody wants to check. Like everyone wants to check. So I don't know what the NFL is doing right now because they're literally putting these players in situations where they're playing one of the most violent sports ever. And then when their emotions get to them, they're not defending them. But I just want to say this. This is the Google explanation for a tackle. To seize, to hold, or grapple with, especially with the intention of stopping and subduing somebody. So what you're telling me right now is that these guys are supposed to be able to actually tackle somebody, but do it specifically the way you want them to do it. You want them to do it a certain way. Like, dog, like this is crazy. I took all my bets. I ain't get all my money back. I took all my bets off a track. After that Tom Brady thing, I was sitting there going like, wait a second. All he did was tackle him. That's all he did. That's all he did. And you want these guys to go through an offensive lineman who is 300 pounds. Then when they get to the quarterback, slow down and lightly grab them and don't lay on them. Pause. Don't lay on them. But make sure you maneuver yourself so that it's perfect so nobody gets hurt. Dog, that's not football. That's not football. And you're driving me crazy because you're sitting there, you're going to find these guys and you're going to throw a 15-yard penalty. And when we really get pissed off is when it's our team in the playoffs, when it happens. That's a regular sack. Was a regular sack.
Or if it's your team, no, I'm saying, or if it's your team, whether it's the playoffs or not, that's moving, that you got to get the ball and making a move that will possibly win them the game. You know what I mean? Let's great segue, Mike. Let's talk about the Bucks game against the Falcons. The Falcons came back against the Bucks. They literally had momentum. They came back. They sacked Tom Brady. If they had sacked Tom Brady in the game, they would have got the ball back because it was a third down. They sacked him on third down. They would have had to punt. And since they had just scored, they would have, guess what? They would have had to get the ball back to Atlanta. The call goes crazy. We all saw what happened. And they give the 15-yard penalty, Tim Brady and them keep the ball, end up winning the game. The outrage now is the NFL is now talking about all the outrage that people are saying and filing against the NFL right now. A lot more outrage than ever. Talk to me about the Tom Brady sack and the momentum of what's going on with the league. Just what your whole thoughts are on this whole thing, because the Bucs ended up defeating the Falcons, and clearly the Bucs were going to lose that game, bro. I don't care what nobody says. The momentum is shifting everything. They were going to lose that game.
You know what I blame this on? I blame we were talking so much heavy duty on salary caps the other day.
Yeah, that was me.
No, I mean we all agree. You know, we were talking back and forth for salary caps, but how about an age cap? Because this is what I hate. A guy great like Brady, if he hangs around the game long enough, the game feels they owe him, and they feel like Jordan rules. Remember Jordan? Jordan got to a point where he got the Jordan rules, and it was like, okay, yeah, we know these are the rules, but not for this guy. And if that's the case, I want an age cap so that I ain't got to live through this S. You know what I mean? I don't want to live through it no more. Like, if guy put his 20 in, good. So I ain't got to sit through 4 or 5 more seasons of the bull. You know, so maybe we need an age cap, Frank, because I've heard a pundit say more than one time this week, oh, I'm not mad at it. You know, he deserved that. He's Tom Brady. No, bro. The minute we start looking at the game that way, right away we make it unfair. Right away we make it inobtainable to anybody playing that person because he got a different set of rules you're giving him. And that's not fair. You know what I mean? So maybe that's our problem. Maybe we let guys like Tom Brady retire, unretire. Maybe we let guys like that do that and hang around too long, that the fact that we feel like the powers that be, from the referees to the commissioner to the teams and coaches, that they owe him a something. Oh, that's so-and-so, you know, be easy, blah, blah, blah. This ain't the last season of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You ain't getting no motorcycle in Milwaukee. You get out there, I expect you to play ball like the rest of them.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is, to be honest with you, the game has changed, Frank. So those linemen are no more William Refrigerator Perry size. Now these dudes are built like tight ends, if you will, on the line, getting to you with all that muscle. So guess what? Maybe that's a hint, Mr. Brady, an old quarterback. Maybe that's a hint. The game has passed you by. Don't change the rules so you can stay longer. Break this Negro up.
Ooh, I ain't mad at you, T. I ain't mad at you. Like,
if I was drunk, I would have said it even worse if I had a drink.
Yeah.
If I had a drink, I'd be like, CTE this nigga.
CTE this.
Fig.
But I didn't have a drink yet, so.
Yeah, I drink. It's still too early, though, T. It's still too early.
It's never too early. Trust. Never too
All right, so Fig, after you saw the game, or while you was watching the game live, if you was watching live like the way I was, you know, there's some stuff that definitely stood out to you. Do you think the game has moved in a different direction? What's your thoughts on the Bucs, first of all, defeating the Falcons and that call turning the whole game around?
I think when you're talking about sports, momentum counts. And the referees can change the momentum of a game. And I believe they actually did that because, like you said, a penalty on the third down changes the whole momentum of the game. And that's exactly what they did. I'm beginning to think that not only Tom Brady, but a lot of other quarterbacks that have the complexion for the protection get calls that other people don't get, because Cam Newton lamented for years that he was being abused. And I'm not talking about when he was running. I'm talking about when he was behind the line. He was getting abused. He was getting hit hard. And it's almost like they were doing the Shaquille O'Neal in basketball. Because he was a certain size, they were letting guys tee off. But Tom Brady got the tuck rule. They got a whole rule based on Tom Brady. And now he gets the benefit of that call on Sunday. And the thing is, it's like Talent said, when you give stars preferential treatment, you cheat the game for the other players. Is because not only is this dude better, you're giving him preferential treatment from the referees, so it makes it damn near impossible for the other team to win. And that's exactly what they did for Tom Brady. What you're actually doing is you're making him better than he actually is. And if I'm a defender and I'm the coach of the other team, I say, listen, if you get a chance to hit a quarterback, tear his pause, tear his head off and get the 15-yard penalty. And every time you get a chance to get to him, tear his head off of his shoulders and get the 15-yard penalty. Because guess what? That only happens once or twice. And then he's out of the game. Now you got to put in a replacement quarterback. Because it's like damn if you do it, damn if you don't. You can't hit him high. You can't hit him low. You can't hit him with your helmet. You can't fall on him. It's like, how do I get this dude down? He's 260 pounds. He's 6'7". How do I get him down?
Especially when he ends up being Josh Allen. Like that's impossible. Like I don't even know how you would do that. Mike Sean, talk to me, man. Tell me what your thoughts on the Bucks defeating the Falcons game and the call that changed the tide of the game. And listen, Atlanta was doing something. Now their record looks like they weren't doing anything. So talk to me.
Okay, let's talk about Tom Brady, and I'm going to try and keep my squeaky, raspy voice down. Let's talk about Tom Brady and what the NFL has done for him. The tuck rule was called once ever in NFL history. It was never called again. Now somebody throws him to the ground, and they're like, "I wish he would have just called what he really wants to say. You hit Tom Brady too hard. That's what you did." And the NFL is going through this right now where it's like Lamar Jackson would not have gotten that call. I'm going to repeat myself. Lamar Jackson would not have gotten that call. Like what they're doing right now is so crazy and it's so blatant. But you know why they do it? Because they know we're going to watch Sunday. They know we're going to watch Thursday. They know we're going to watch Monday. They know it. So they're blatant. When I tell you, dog, I don't even know why I got so angry. I said, this doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Like, that doesn't make any sense to actually give somebody that type of privilege, white privilege. Sorry, Fig. I'm up in here. That white privilege. Because they wouldn't have gave that call to Michael Vick. They wouldn't have gave that call to Evan McNabb. They wouldn't have gave that call to Randy Cunningham.
Hey, Mike, they didn't give it to Patrick Mahomes last night.
They didn't give it to Patrick Mahomes the next. Oh, I'm trying not to curse. The next effing day, they didn't give it to Patrick Mahomes. The same thing that happened to Tom Brady happened to probably the best quarterback in football, and they didn't give him the call.
Yeah.
Like this is like it's so disrespectful, but sometimes we gotta blame ourselves because they know we're gonna watch. They know we're gonna watch the next game, the next weekend, the next team. So it's like I don't even know why. Sometimes I get to myself like, why am I so upset over this? Because it's BS.
And it's so unfair.
BS. The people that make this game happen are African Americans. They're the ones who make this game happen. But the disrespect that happens with Roger Goodell, who sits in his office and doesn't catch the heat that he should catch, has told his officials, watch out for the white dudes.
Yeah, I think I gotta end that conversation by saying we ain't surprised by none of it. Before we jump into the NBA, some stuff I want to talk about in the NBA, but we got to talk about the Jets defeating the Dolphins. The Jets defeated the Dolphins 40-17. I know you got something to say about this one, T. Talk to me because I didn't see the Jets game. It was on my market, but I chose to watch another game.
First of all, let me get my Fig and Mike Sean on real quick. Hold on a second. He's gonna be the only one.
I need my headphones.
What was the question again, Frank?
How you feel about the Jets defeating the Dolphins, bro?
First of all, how it sound? Let me adjust it a little bit. Put something in there. First of all, it ain't plugged into nothing. Just happened to be here with my DJ quick. Oh man, let me tell you something. Second best performance, all three New York teams. I would give which call was expected to be a blowout because Pittsburgh's going through all sorts of shenanigans. So that was what it was supposed to be. Giants comeback was probably the best win of all three teams because how it went down to the wire. They were down, they come back and they kicked that, and it was overseas. So that put it up there. My Jets with that 40 plus points. Let me tell you something. Impressive, even for me, because I know how good our quarterback is, but this was the first game to show you how good our run game can be. So that was the difference in this win. Of course, you take the win. You want the win. I want as many wins as I could get. But what stood out to me was I've watched everything they did in the last 2 seasons, spending their draft money on plugging a lot of holes. But that was the one thing I didn't account for. I know it was decent, whatever, but that looked like a super 2-piece back there Sunday, Frank. That run game. Was it 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, all running?
Yeah, it was.
All running. So my Jets, the gang ring is back, baby. And I'm winning a lot of money right now because the Raiders keep losing.
All right, so in the offseason fake, the Jets almost landed Tyreek Hill. One of the players, defensive end John Franklin Myers, said he took umbrage to Tyreek Hill sprinting the Jets in the offseason, feeling that the Hill's comments were disrespectful. The Jets ended up beating him, and he made it a point to say that. Let's also not forget that Teddy Bridgewater got injured in the Jets game too, and he got hurt. But either way, the Jets won 40-17. Talk to me about your thoughts on the Jets beating the Dolphins, because the Dolphins are down there. A lot of players getting injured too. What's your take?
It was a beat down to epic proportions. It's like, you know what? It's like when somebody, you ever watch a boxing match and the dude that talks the most trash, when the fight actually happened, he get knocked out. Mm-hmm. That's what happened. That's what happened with the Jets. The Jets beat but see, they beat the crap out of the Dolphins, but that's a divisional rivalry. And let me tell you something, man. When you play a team that's in your same division, anything can happen. You know what I mean? Anything is possible. Like when the Jets play the Patriots or the Dolphins and God, who's the other one that's in that division? I forget.
Jets,
anyway,
the Dolphins. It's the Jets, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Bills.
And the Bills, right? So whenever you get a division rivalry, you can have an upset. But it's almost like because of Tyreek Hill talking trash, it's like the Jets circled that game on their calendar and said, "Okay, we got something for you." And that's exactly what happened, man. 40 points. I didn't see that happening. I thought the Jets, anytime you have a divisional rival, I have like any team, it could go either way.
Yeah.
But I did not see that happening. And the fact that, that they didn't have their quarterback, they knocked out the number 2 quarterback, Geno Smith. Is it Geno Smith?
Teddy Bridgewater.
I know it's one of the Teddy Bridgewater knocked him out.
He's one of the black guys.
He's one of the black, Mike, one of the black backups. Because usually when you get a black quarterback, that's what he is, a backup. Because that's what they say. And when you try to get in the game, the coach be like, listen here, back up. But anyway, man, it was a great game, man. And I'm happy for the Jets, man. Anytime something happens good for New York, I'm all in.
Mike, let's not overlook the Jets scored 40 points. I don't know when the last time the Jets scored 40 points in an NFL game anyway. Like, I don't know what that. And we also can't overlook the fact that are the Jets really here? Are they for real, Mike? Or are they just getting a good run? What's your take?
We'll never know that. We just got to wait to see what happens. But my thing is, being from New York, when you start traveling around the country, like I'm a Giant fan, but I've never rooted against the Jets. Because once you travel around the country, you realize it's New York against everybody. Like once you're down south and you're going to different cities, you realize, okay, I'm a Met fan, but I'm a Yankee fan too. Once you leave New York City, I'm amazed. Like I think this shows how important a culture change really is. When a head coach changes the culture and you make the right draft pick and everything like that, I was happy for the Jets. Yeah. Like I was amazed. I didn't know they was going. I ain't bet that spread. I'll tell you that. I had no idea they were going to do something like that. I would have made a bunch of money like talent. But
somebody got to talk to Talon. See, look at his scorecard because the last couple of weeks he's been winning a lot of money.
There's no way. I think the spread. I don't even think they were favored in the game. Actually, I don't even think they were.
It was 3 points. Miami was favored.
So Miami was favored by 3 points, and they laid 40 on them. Like, there's no way. Like, I wish I would have called Talent on Saturday and took that bet. But I'm happy for him. And you know what? The Jets have been through enough, from Richard Todd to all the quarterbacks that they've had to having somebody now that they're actually doing something real. Like, I think they're for real.
I think they could be for real too. All right, T, let me move on, man, because on Friday there was some news, and I'm looking at the time too. On Friday there was some news that Draymond Greene, right after we finished doing the show, Draymond Greene put out a statement saying that he was going to step away from the Golden State Warriors because he didn't like the attention that was going on. He obviously put out a statement saying that he was apologizing to Draymond, to Jordan Poole. He apologized to the team. He apologized and everything else. He talked about something, the embarrassment, the embarrassment. And somebody asked, what's the embarrassment? He said, well, the embarrassment of me knocking out Jordan Poole, the embarrassment of me throwing the punch, the embarrassment of me handling everything else. And I was like, wow, what a statement. What do you think about Jordan Poole supposedly being embarrassed, being knocked out? What do you think about Draymond Greene saying that he's going to step away? What do you think about this whole situation, T? Because it's taking a life of its own. And how should Golden State handle this right about now? What do you think they should do?
Well, first of all, this warrants an edit, Frank.
All right, here we come. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. I know when to edit that.
Fuck Draymond. This is all crazy. He should step away, and it ain't gonna do. Here's the problem. Problem is this day and era. Back in the day, if this was the old school, he could say that, or he could, and they keep it moving because it'd be all hearsay and he said, she said. Problem is, in this day and era, everything is recorded. And once a video surfaces, we're in the age of social media. That's not going to stop the memes. That's not going to stop the jokes they come up with. The jokes are going to go until the trolls are tired till something else happens, and they're going to make jokes about that. But right now, we're going to still get the knock Jordan Poole's memes out every day on a daily basis. They're still going to kill them on Twitter. I'm tired of this new society. Both parts are horrible. The fact that you can't escape it because of video reasons. And more importantly, even worse, the fact that we think we could do whatever the hell we want and just pull a podium up afterward and say, I'm sorry. Yeah. And it's supposed to all be forgiven and back to normal. No. How about being a grown man and restraining yourself and controlling yourself and articulating and communicating how you feel, as opposed to laying your hands on somebody? Now, you got the Draymond fans. I heard a couple of them. Oh, but he pushed him first. If you'd seen how he got up on that dude's face and made body contact, that's to touch this first. You don't come in my personal space and touch me. You're going to over chest me and try to, because you're bigger than me, you're a taller dude than me, and hit me with the chest and pose that. Of course I push you back to regain my space. And what do? You go a step further than that and hit me like we two dudes on the street making $5 an hour. It's despicable. It's disgraceful. And I don't care if you step away for a week or 2 weeks. The damage is done, bro. I think it's time to go.
I think you made a great point, Minty, 100%. But Fig, let me ask you this question. The news also came out that Golden State Warriors were concerned about who put out the tape. You know what I mean? They seem like a lot of people saying, well, y'all more concerned with who put out the tape. Y'all should be focusing on
right.
the actual thing, the punch and everything. Like, why y'all paying attention? And I think I even made a post saying it's easy to figure out who put up the video. All you got to do is find an intern who's making a little bit of money. He didn't want to put out the tape because TMZ paid $1.5 million. They paid $1.5 million for that tape, bro. $1.5 million. And so I know an intern sold it to him. So who cares? At the end of the day, where's your focus? So, Fig, talk to me about that. You know everything's going on. What's your focus?
Well, here's the thing. First off, the Golden State Warriors are a first-class organization and run extremely well from the top to the bottom. And that's why they were concerned with who leaked the video, because that's not the Golden State Warriors way. They don't do stuff like that. They handle stuff in-house. They don't let it go out to the public and in the street. That was the whole big thing with the Ime Udoka thing. Why are you letting this out to the public? Why are you leaking this to the public? This is something that a first-class organization handles within itself. You don't let the general public know everything that's going on, because if that's the case, if the general public knows everything that's going on in my organization and we don't have any secrets, then there's no connectivity. There's no camaraderie within the ranks. You don't do that. Like when you have something going on in your family, you keep that in house. You don't let that out in the street. That's number one. And number two, you got these guys who are veterans that have been in the league since forever, from Steve Kerr to the owners, to the general manager, to some of the players that's on the team. And you know for a fact that this is not an anomaly. This is something that happens all the time. Almost every single year, fights happen amongst teams, whether it be basketball, whether it be football, whether it be another sport. In-house fights happen all the time because you got gladiators going at each other and emotions run high. These things happen. The only problem here is now you have people who don't understand the inner workings of an organization making decisions and making statements concerning something that they know nothing about.
Right. Fig is not wrong, Mike and Sean. Fig's not wrong, but the problem that I think that he didn't touch on, Mike, is that this is the first time in NBA history that a player punched another player at practice. It got caught on camera where the player got knocked out. Like we saw fights in the NBA before, so I think the Golden State Warriors are dealing with that. Talk to me, Mike. What's your take?
Okay, this is what I don't like about bullies, because I've never claimed to be a tough guy. I'm not a tough guy. But if I'm Jordan Poole, I gotta see you again. But I'm not promoting violence. All I'm saying is that Draymond would not have done that to Andre Iguodala.
No, boy.
He would not have run up on him like that. He would not have done that. What he is a fake bully. That's what he is. And he's been doing that. You gonna punch one of the guards? You gonna go that hard on one of the guards? That's like talent deciding he's gonna punch me. Like that don't make no sense. But his fake bullyism is because he knows it's coming to an end. He knows it's coming to an end. He knows Golden State has had it with him. And the only thing Jordan Poole did wrong, which I will repeat from Shannon Sharp, this is not me, when somebody gets that close to you, is punches in bunches. When somebody gets that close to your face and comes up to you, it's punches and bunches. It's on and popping. But what he did was he used his leverage on being Draymond Greene, and he played the young man because the young man didn't think he was going to get punched in the face. So, yes, Golden State is done with him. The end is coming. He'll wind up with the Sacramento Kings or somebody like that. Somebody will pay him a bunch of money. He'll wind up with another team, and then he'll realize how regular he really is.
Mm-hmm. Can I address the regular?
The fact that Steph Curry, and I said this the last time, the fact that Steph Curry did not defend him in the press conference, the fact that Steph Curry was very humble and didn't want to get into it was because everybody's had it with the nonsense. Dog, they did not win a championship because of Draymond Greene.
Can I address that?
Championship
because you do every day.
I just want to address it with facts.
Again, you do it every day, but go ahead.
All right.
Then he gets mad when I do it.
No. Here you go.
Yeah,
the Golden State leader warrior. The Golden State Warriors leaders in stats. Points is Steph Curry. Rebounds, Draymond Greene. Assists, Draymond Greene. Steals, Draymond Greene. Games played, Draymond Greene. What is this? I don't understand this notion that this player is insignificant.
He's Charles Oakley.
Leads,
all he is Charles Oakley. That's all he is.
He leads the Golden State Warriors in every stat except points.
Except points. I forgot. You're
stat.
supposed to. How do you win a game? How do you win a game,
points to win? You need you know how you win with rebounds, assists.
This is why I don't want to get this.
Steals.
All right. We're gonna move on.
Are y'all stupid?
And we argue about this every day.
No, you're ridiculous. Like you really overrate this dude so crazy.
Get out of here.
No, if he played for any other team, if he played for any other team except Golden State, we wouldn't even know his name.
Get out of here.
All right, so let's keep moving. All right,
it's Charles Oakley. He got the same numbers Charles Oakley had for the Knicks.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
LaMelo Ball got injured yesterday.
He loves Draymond Greene. Like, dude, he loves Draymond Greene.
Get out of here. Get out
I'm about
of here.
to mute them both so I can finish asking my question. I'm literally about to mute them both. So T, LaMelo Ball got injured last night. The Charlotte Hornets.
This motherfucker is in love with Draymond Greene. And he loves Draymond Greene. Like, have his baby, my dude. Like, you're killing me right now. Draymond Greene is the most overrated player in the NBA. Get out of here. You love him. Like, you're like the Draymond Green TRL. Like, you want to be Carl Daly and be with this dude.
Mike, can we stop now? Can we stop?
All right, I'm done.
All right, can we stop?
I'm done. Sorry.
Anyway, LaMelo Ball got injured last night, right? He got injured.
He loves Draymond Green.
Stop. LaMelo Ball got injured, and during the injury, everybody's saying right now that
during the injury, Fig said Draymond Green will help him get over the injury. Draymond.
I'm sorry, Mike. I had to do that. According to the reports and everything else, it looked like LaMelo Ball got injured. LaMelo Ball, and they might have wrap him up for the rest of the season. For the rest of the preseason. But let's see. They lost to the Washington Wizards. They're thinking that he might be out for 6 to 8 weeks. LaMelo Ball's injury is pretty rough. What do you think about it's going to happen with literally moving forward with LaMelo Ball right now? What do you think that talk is right now?
Well, I mean, you just said it. You just said it. Out for the season.
I meant out for the preseason. I'm sorry. Out for the preseason.
Okay. Well, listen, he got to get back sooner than it can't go more than 10 games into the season. I tell you that. Right. You know what I mean? You got to be back before then because that's your whole preseason into the first 10, 15 games is basically for the coaches.
Right.
You know, this lets them know what they got on the team, on the floor, and how they maneuver forward as far as starting positions. Do they got it right out the gate? Do they need to tweak, change it around? Who he needs on the floor with him? It's all that stuff. When he comes in past 10 games, if it's that bad of an injury, I pity the team because that sets the team back. When you get a late start, that's exactly what it is. So your win streak, instead of coming out the gate, having a decent win streak for the first 20 games, you're probably going to see your first streak until, 25, 30 games in, which is playing catch-up ball. So I hope it's not that bad, Frank. I hope it's just, this next following week because, hey, the season's starting, bro.
Yeah, it really did.
Next week, it's starting.
Being at the time is what it is. I'm going to ask you, Fig, the next question. Let's see. Here we go. The Los Angeles Lakers ended up renewing Rob Pelinka's contract through 2026. Are you happy with the moves that Rob Pelinka is doing right now for the Los Angeles Lakers? Fig, what's your thoughts?
I mean, he has to do what he has to do because, I believe it or not, LeBron James has a lot to do with some of the moves that is made on the roster. You know what I mean? To facilitate him being able to win. So Rob Pelinka, I think, was making some moves based on appeasing LeBron James. Then also, you just got a brand new coach, and it makes you. I heard it makes you a lame duck as a GM to have a coach with a 6-year contract, and yours is only like 2 or 3. So what I think they did, they extended Rob Pelinka's contract to match up with Darvin Ham, so those guys would have the same amount of years because Rob Pelinka was the one who hired him, and to have Rob Pelinka on a short contract and Darvin Ham to have 6 years would be, unbalanced.
Yeah, I agree with that part. Michael Sean, Kyrie Irving is saying that the Brooklyn Nets right now looking like they're gonna be fine. He says that they're gonna look to change the narrative. They have already had separate meetings together. They and I watched them play. They're trying to change the way that they're going to play, even their offense and everything else. So I don't know if this is the beginning. What's your take on when you hear Kyrie Irving stepping up and saying something like this, Mike? What's your take?
I mean, Kyrie's put himself in a corner where, like, I'm not against the vaccination situation and everything like that, but Kyrie Irving, it's like the words just don't mean anything. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't mean nothing until the season happens and you help Kevin Durant literally either go to the Eastern Conference Finals or a championship or something like that. But I just want to say one thing, because I'm petty.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
This is what Draymond Greene, these are actually the numbers that Draymond Greene has. It's 7 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. That behavior is dope when you're winning championships. But if Steph Curry isn't scoring 30 points a game, if he played for the Knicks, we'd be killing him right now. If he played for the Knicks, every New York fan would be like, dog, 7 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. I'm not saying that's bad, because in no way am I saying that's bad. All I'm saying is, dog, this is the most overrated player in the NBA. That's all I'm saying. And Fig knows I got nothing but super love for him. But dog, you punch somebody in the face and those are your numbers? Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr in the face because Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan. That's all I'm saying.
I knew it was coming. I knew you was coming.
I'm sorry, Frank. I'm sorry.
No, I know you were.
I didn't do any cursing. I didn't do anything like that.
Hey, let me answer like a woman in the hood. I said what I said.
With that being said, we're going to wrap this up. Tomorrow, we're going to finish talking about the rest of the NFL games. We're going to talk about a little bit more of this baseball, seeing who's squaring up and everything else. And then we're going to probably have more of a debate with this Draymond Greene situation, because it ain't over. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't over. T, tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
Taylor got his headphones on that have no music going on.
They not plugged into nothing. Hey, follow your boy Talent the Comedian on Instagram. It's just comedy on Twitter, and King Talent Harris on Facebook. I'm setting up the fight right now with the pay-per-view with Jordan Poole and Draymond Greene. The undercard is going to be Mike and.
That would never happen. That would never happen.
Never.
That would never happen.
The thing is, y'all got to fight with your hands duct taped behind your back with headphones. It's gonna be a wonderful.
Headbutt each other.
Oh man! Hey, listen, I told you, Talent. I got in an argument one time and had to go to the emergency room. I'm done.
Wait, everybody that can follow you, bro.
Yo, at Comedian Fig on social media platforms. And listen, I want to tell everybody out there that watches, that listens to us, we love each other. This is the kind of stuff that you would hear in the barbershop. We go back and forth with each other, and then after, it's all love. That's all I want y'all to know.
Yeah, that's because y'all comedians in the barbershop, they really want to fight after. Well, all right, see me outside if I get my line up.
No, we ain't doing none of that.
We ain't doing that up here. Mike, talk to me, bro. Tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
At Mike Sean Comedy, and please, y'all, I know I sound like I'm on my soapbox. Brittany Griner's still in Russia.
Yes.
So can we please keep putting pressure to get her out of there, because the woman really believes that we done forgot about her.
Right.
Yeah. But honestly, the news cycles have. They stopped talking about it because it's not relevant anymore. The news cycles have.
Right. You know what? It would be tragic, Frank, if God forbid this young lady does something to herself or something happens to her over there, then it's going to be a whole big thing. Now people acting like it's not a big deal. Mike is right, man. Let's try and keep this out there, man. Let's get Brittany Griner home.
Like I like that background.
Well, I'm in Dallas, so I'm at you.
He's at Jerry World.
Wow.
Mike doing something he shouldn't be doing. You see this right here?
No, I'm doing exactly what I should be doing. I'm back in the streets.
Who's doing this the whole show? Yeah, you know. I'm over here.
She walked in, so I look.
Okay. All right. We believe you. We believe you. Yo, thank you all for watching the show. We greatly appreciate y'all. The show's called Box Seat. It's on repeated. Comes on again at 7. Comes on again at 11 on social media. It's on the Humor Mill channel. Please, y'all download the app. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Do everything you can.
Look at Mike. She got nice hair.
Mike getting a massage after this.
We doing all the stuff we can't do. We'll see y'all tomorrow again at 1 o'clock. We're gonna finish talking about this NFL, Major League Baseball, all the rest of the stuff in sports, because we talk about comedy with sports. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all. Peace.